So almost every day I get a message from someone or from social media, or someone who's in one of my programs will send me a message and ask me what my favorite snacks are. And, I've had a long journey with snacks because I was a chronic overeater and a chronic undereater, and I would play both sides of that spectrum. So I really never had a grasp on what snacking was all about. And so I had to change my mindset on it. And it took me a long time to come up with a good list of items that I thought were my favorite snacks that were healthy and filling, but yet stayed within a certain parameter. And I'm going to give you guys one big tip about snacking. I don't think of snacking as like, oh, I'm a little hungry, I need a little snack. I think of snacking as another one of my meals through the day. It's the fact that I have 4 or 5 or sometimes 6 meals a day is that each one of those meals is pretty balanced. And so I don't have just like a handful of carrots or something like that, which a lot of people tend to do when they start moving towards a healthy lifestyle. They'll eat meals and then they'll have like a little handful of nuts through the day. To me, that's not a snack. I don't even consider those things when I'm looking at my overall meal plan. Those are more habitual things for me. That's like I need something salty and crunchy in my mouth, and so I'll grab those things. That doesn't even calculate in my head as a meal. But I wanted to share with you guys one major thing about snacking that I've come across over the many years of working in nutrition and working to figure out the healthy alternatives. So my favorite snack, I have this almost every single morning, or sometimes I'll even have it in the afternoon as well, is a bowl of yogurt and some granola. But here's the problem. So if I tell people that a good snack is a bowl of yogurt and some granola, then people just go out and they start looking in the aisle at the refrigerator and they just buy whatever's out there. And for the most part, most people have no clue about yogurts. And I know here at my grocery store that I live over top of, there's an aisle that is nothing but yogurts. Every style of yogurt, flavor of yogurt, type of yogurt, some dairy, some non-dairy. I mean, you're just inundated with the yogurt options. And then when you go to the granola aisle, which is right on the same place as the cereal aisle for a very good reason, because most granolas are nothing more than just cereal that hasn't been processed very well. And we, for some reason, have this idea that granola is healthy just because it's granola. And by reading the labels, you'll find out that it's not necessarily healthy at all. So I wanted to take a minute today and share with you some of the things that I've discovered and give you exactly what I do for my granola and yogurt snack. Now, you also have to understand that I live with a Greek, and he is very picky about his yogurts. And so if it says Greek yogurt, it better be Greek yogurt or better be in Greek type of yogurt. He will not eat any of the non-Greek, slimy, gooey, ooey, smooth yogurts. And quite honestly, they're not very healthy for you. You might as well just be eating pudding for that matter when you start looking at the regular yogurts. It's nothing but slight milk fat and sugar, and that's not healthy for you. So I'm going to give you the options that we use. Now, I want to start with the yogurt because that's a typical hard one for people to get. I also want to make sure that you know that I'm very careful when I look at labels, that I look for things that have no added sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no anything like that, because those things are harmful to our bodies. We don't need the extra sugar. Anywhere you can cut out anything artificial in your diet, you might as well do it. And of course, when you do those things, it cuts down on flavor for most people. And that's the rub that I get from people saying, well, I like it, I want to do it, but it just doesn't taste as good as others. And so I've literally tested every single yogurt in our grocery store, even the ones that are made from like some type of weird nut milk that is horrible. And I've written the companies and told them that I like or don't like something, but I'm going to give you guys the dairy version of the yogurt that we use here in our home, and it is the Fage True Blend. Comes in different flavors, and the reason the True Blend, first off, Fage is one of the best yogurts that we have found, especially because I said my partner is Greek and Fage is Greek, and he likes it very much. But it also, as you see on it, says no added sugars, no sweeteners, and it is vanilla flavored. And if you look at it for the calorie wise, this entire container has 110 calories. And I don't have my glasses on, so it's a little difficult for me to see this, but it's got 13 grams of protein, and total sugars is 5 grams of sugar. So this is a very, very balanced cup and one serving right here. And what I encourage you to do, especially if you're just starting out, is to buy the single serving containers instead of the larger containers so you can control your portions. You know exactly what you're eating. It's very, very easy to eyeball this and then take a large container of it, and you end up eating twice this much, not realizing your calories, okay? So Faye True Blend comes in vanilla. He also loves the blueberry and the strawberry. Those have moderately more sugar just because they have a little bit of fruit in them, but it has no added sweeteners and no added sugars, okay? That one's a really good one. Now, because I am cutting out dairy, I cut out most of my dairy for a couple of reasons. I'm not necessarily full-blown lactose intolerant, but I noticed that dairy increases my inflammation in my hands and my feet and my body. And because rheumatoid arthritis and some other autoimmune system diseases run in my family, I decided to cut out as much dairy as possible. And so I have literally tried every non-dairy option out there. And I will tell you right now, this little guy right here is hands down the best one. Now, I will say this. There was another one on the market. It was a Ripple company. The name of the company is Ripple. I used their yogurt, Greek yogurt style, for a long time, and then they discontinued it out of the stores. I was heartbroken because I'd posted about how great it was, and they just discontinued it. But Silk has an almond milk yogurt alternative. The only thing about this is it's a little soupy for most people. It doesn't have the same consistency as the Greek style yogurt, so it's a little softer. And because of the way it's processed, when you open it, there'll be water on top of it. And I just pour that water out and I use it. But this is the unsweetened version. You see unsweetened. So it has 0 grams of added sugar to it. It is unsweetened. It is also vanilla as well, so same exact thing. And this one has per cup. See, now this is a different size. This is why you have to look at the sizing. On this container, the serving size in here is about 2/3 of a cup. It's not a full cup in here. It's about 2/3 or maybe even a little bit less. And this one, the full cup size, is 220 calories. So I don't even eat a full cup. I eat about a half a cup of this in my serving. And per cup, per serving, it has 7 grams of protein and only 2 grams of sugar. So it's very, very low in sugar, no added sweeteners, all those good things, and it's non-dairy for me, okay? So this is a really good alternative. So let's switch our gears over to granola, because I did a little story one time, a post. I walked down the granola aisle. I found a $9.50 box of granola that looked like it was handmade by mom. And so, of course, I thought this is going to be healthy and natural. And I looked at the label on it, and it was literally better if I had eaten the Cocoa Puffs down the aisle. I grabbed both boxes and looked at them, and the Cocoa Puffs and the Fruity Pebbles and the Fruit Loops, which happened to be my favorite, were all healthier choices than this particular granola. So just because it's granola does not mean it's good. Now, this particular granola I'm going to show you, it may not be in your grocery store. I live in a high-end marketplace here in Washington, D.C., and so we get a lot of things here on trial. We get a lot of things before a lot of areas because we're such a metropolitan area. This is a brand new company. I've only seen it out for like the last year. And they have granolas in our store that are unbelievable. In fact, I'm going to show you all of them because I have all of them. But the company is called Sola, and Sola uses a sugar alternative called allulose for most of their sweeteners. And allulose is a derived sugar that does not have the response in the body as regular sugar does, and it also doesn't have any of the reactions in the body that things like artificial sweeteners have. And so allulose is what they use in here, but this particular one also happens to be gluten-free, which if you followed along with me over the last couple of weeks, I have to now be gluten-free. And so Sola fits both of those things for me. And look at this, it says 6 grams of net carbs. So this whole thing, the serving in here is 2/3 of a cup, which I use about half of that. Only has 3 grams of sugar, so I'm getting less than 2 grams of sugar per serving. It has 17 grams of protein, so now I'm getting about half that, so it's another 8 grams of protein I'm getting, and it only has 140 calories per serving. So this is a very, very good option. It comes in this blueberry cinnamon, which is hands down my favorite. Also comes in a brand new flavor for you chocolate lovers, chocolate raspberry. I tried it yesterday and I almost fell out of my chair. And then there's the old standby, the typical one, vanilla almond. Again, that one's also gluten-free, 17 grams of protein and 5 net carbs. fantastic option if you have this in your grocery store. If not, I'm sure you can find it online and send it to you. Look for those items in your grocery store. But that's what I have for my morning snacks. Sometimes I have it in my afternoon snacks, and sometimes I'll have it before bed. Just depends. So I hope that helps you out with some good option for your granola and yogurt. If you need more information, visit me here on the website. Send me a message. I'll be glad to help you out, answer any questions about fitness and nutrition. And of course, I'm always here to help get you started on a new program if you decide it's time to get started. All right. I love you all. I'll see you next time.